Hi guys, today on Simplified with Smita, we're going to talk about patience while cooking, understanding the ingredients with what we are cooking with. So, cooking is an art. We all know that cooking is an art, and any art requires patience and consistency. You agree with me? Okay, then we move on further. So, before you start cooking any recipe, just take out a few minutes and understand the recipe first. Understand the ingredients you're going to use while cooking this recipe. And once you understand that, cooking will be much more easier. I have to tell you a very important incidence of impatience. Yes, I'm a very impatient person. I was rather, and somehow cooking has brought in a lot of patience in my life. So this was just after my engagement when I'd gone to visit my in-laws. The entire family was leaving for an event and someone had to look after home. So I chose to stay back and, I was just sitting around, and the cook Vaishali was making a brown bhat for dinner for all of us. And I went into the kitchen and said, "Hey, Vaishali, काय करतेस तू? वहिनी मी brown bhat बनवते." I said, "Don't worry, I will make it." So she told me the recipe of how to make it, and she went out to do some other chores. And what I made out turned out to be disastrous because the recipe was basically very simple. Heat the ghee, add the whole spices, add sliced onions, brown them, and then add the rice, the soaked rice, and then you add water, salt, and cook it. This was the basic recipe. Now, my dimag, I added the onions, sauteed it till it became pink. Then I didn't wait, I added rice thinking that I will bhuno the rice and the onions together, and the onions will also get fried and the rice will also get roasted well. Imagine what an idiot I was at that point of time, and ultimate dish was onion ka pulao. Nothing more than that. I mean, it was a complete disaster. And when, Bhabhi came home, she said, "Hey, kai banole?" So I sheepishly told her that I screwed up with the recipe. So basically I should have, listened and waited for the onion to get brown. I should have been patient enough, understood that the brown color will only come once I brown the onions. So, which I didn't listen. So guys, remember, you need to be very patient when you're cooking and understand the dish very well. Now, when we are cooking meats, every meat has a certain time taken to cook them. Like when you're cooking mutton takes the most amount of time compared to a chicken and a fish. So, when you're cooking a mutton recipe, you can keep the gravy on the stove and you can go do your things, keep coming back, checking the curry, seeing, bhunoing it or whatever. And, you can take your little time for yourself when you're cooking a mutton curry. When you're cooking chicken, you have to come back a little more quicker because chicken cooks much faster than mutton. But when it comes to fish and prawns, I recommend that you wait by your stove because fish barely takes 5 minutes to cook, and so does prawns. Otherwise, sometimes prawns, when you overcook them, then you can get chewy and rubbery. Similarly, when you're cooking boneless chicken takes barely 5 to 6 minutes to cook, and if you cook it a little more, gone. Your dish is going to become very chewy. Now, similarly, vegetables also have a certain time to cook. Certain roots take longer than other roots. Like carrots take a little longer than potato. It also depends on the size you chop them. So, these are the small basic things which you have to understand about the ingredients before you cook them. Now, suppose if I'm making an aloo methi, if I cook them together, it's going to be a real mushy dish. So, and also the color will not be appealing. So these are two different vegetables who have a different time of cooking. So you cook them separately and then you add them together and you make a beautiful, delicious aloo methi. Now, even when you make a mutton biryani, any biryani for that matter, it is very important to give the mutton a dum. You have to be patient enough to give the mutton dum because all the flavors get infused together and they get infused in the rice as well. And remember, you have to be patient enough even to let the biryani rest after it has been given a dum, and then you serve it. This enhances the flavor of the biryani as well. So these are small things that you need to understand about the food that you're cooking. And if you guys have any other questions regarding cooking or regarding certain ingredients, please do message me, and watch Simplified with Smita on every Wednesday, and subscribe to my channel as well.